You've been connected to the DedSecCast. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the third episode of the DedSecCast. My name is Brett, aka UbiCentral, and today I'm joined by the most handsome human being I know, Aftermath. How are you?
Hey Brett, what's up, man?
Nothing much. And as always, I want to mention that you can skip around the show using the timestamps in the description down below. Now, before we get started with this week's episode, Aftermath, I just wanted to ask, how have you been doing recently? Have you just been chilling? What have you been up to?
Well, just today, as of recording this, so I guess yesterday, if you listen to this when it comes out, I was on a podcast called The Kill Connor Club. It's an Assassin's Creed focused podcast, and it's uploaded on the YouTube channel Lasers, and it's also uploaded on iTunes and other podcasting places as The Kill Connor Club, and I went on that as a guest with these two other guys, Tyler and James in there. Just crazy great guys. It was a ton of fun. I definitely recommend you check that out. Other stuff I've been doing recently, I'm playing Ratchet & Clank right now, which is like the reboot of the first game-ish. Loving it, having a ton of fun with that. And I'm also playing through Far Cry Primal's Survivor Mode permadeath thing, which is straining, but I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. And last week, James was actually our guest on the show, and I will leave a link to the podcast that you were on in the description if you guys want to check that out. For me personally, yesterday, I just watched Captain America Winter Soldier. I've seen it before, but I'm trying to get hyped up for Civil War because I love superhero movies. Like, they're the best.
I don't think I've seen any of the MCU stuff since Marvel. Not Marvel, Iron Man 2. So it's been a while.
What's wrong with you?
I just feel like I need to watch all of them before I can watch the next one, you know? Like, I don't know. Even though that's not actually true, up to that point I did watch all of them, and then suddenly it just got too much, and so I haven't watched any of them since. I think I have to watch Doctor Strange, though, because it looks so sick. Yeah. So I think I'll watch that.
I saw that trailer. It's definitely interesting because it's a different, like, kind of Marvel movie, but we're getting off topic now. Anyways, on to the news for this week, and it kind of ties into Watch Dogs 2 in a way. We finally have a confirmed date for Ubisoft's E3 press conference, which again is most likely where Watch Dogs 2 will be shown off for the first time. The main show will be starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is also 4 p.m. Eastern time on Monday, June 13th. Also, they're doing a pre-show as well, which starts 30 minutes before the main show, so that would be 12:30 Pacific time and 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. And Ubisoft hasn't officially stated where it will be live streamed at, but I'm assuming it will be on their Twitch or YouTube because that's what they did last year. But yeah, that's basically the news for this week. E3 is happening in less than 2 months, which is pretty exciting. I honestly wish it could be tomorrow, but whatever.
Oh, that's pretty crazy. I didn't realize it was just about 2 months away. That's crazy excitement. And other exciting things, though. This week, I'm going to PAX East, and you can expect probably not a lot of content from me, but I'll probably post about it on Twitter.
I'm telling you, you should vlog.
If I can remember to, then I guess I will.
How can you forget not to?
Because I've never done that before. I don't vlog stuff.
Yeah, I don't do it either, but when I go on trips, I still do it. I'm like the worst at it, but it's still fun. And just like, even if you don't upload it on YouTube, you should still do it just for like memories. And like, is PAX East your first convention, by the way?
Nah, PAX South 2015 was my first.
Oh yeah, I remember PAX South. Wasn't it brand new last year? Was that the first time?
Yeah. That was the first PAX South.
Was it pretty small or no?
Yeah, it was definitely very small compared to PAX East and West. So I'm excited to go to like an actual big convention. It'll be a ton of fun. I'm going to see Andy and Gabe will be there. I'll be hanging out with them. That'll be sick.
And I might go to PAX West or PAX Prime. I like to say Prime. No,
West.
Okay. Well, already in disagreement there, but no. PAX Prime. Anyways, I might be going later this year. That's kind of really far off, but you know, PAX East was my first convention last year, and it was a ton of fun meeting Andy and Justin. For me, it was a lot of fun. So yeah. But anyways, on that note, it's time for Fixer Contracts, and we have some pretty interesting topics this week. If you haven't heard of this game before, I will quickly explain the rules, and this will probably be the last episode that I do that because it's episode 3, and you should know the rules by now. But I'll start off asking Aftermath a question. For example, first episode, I think we started off with should Watch Dogs 2 continue Aiden Pierce's story? Aftermath will either accept or decline this contract. If he accepts, that means he'll be agreeing with it. And of course, declining would mean disagree. After he gives his response, he'll explain why he picked that answer. And then I will also do the same. Once we give our answers, I'll also mention what you, the fans, voted for on Twitter. So if you'd like to join in on these future polls, be sure to follow me on Twitter at UbiCentral and Aftermath at Aftermath1231. Links will, of course, be in the description. With that being said, the first question is this. Should Watch Dogs 2 introduce garages to store your cars?
I think that I will accept this contract and agree to this. So yes, I think that Watch Dogs 2 should introduce garages to store cars. Now, I don't think that they should eliminate the car calling app. I think that was a really interesting way to handle that situation in the first game. But there's nothing quite like having a big garage just full of all the cars you've collected. Maybe the ones that you put in the garage, ones you have to buy. So the car calling app will be separate, maybe a little bit different from the garage system. But I think that it could be cool, and I definitely like it in GTA 5, the way they have it set up. Although I'd like to see it, if Watch Dogs were to do that, I'd like to see it done a bit differently, I think, than what GTA 5 did.
Yeah, I would also accept this. For me, it adds more values to the cars because, like you said, in the first game you had cars on demand, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. So, you know, you have all these cars that you have unlocked and they're just delivered to you. And I feel like that doesn't really have, you know, a personal value to you. It's just a car, and if you crash it or if it blows up, you can just call another one. So I feel like it's just not valued enough, and if you added garages, maybe that would make it more valuable because you can maybe customize it, put it in a garage, and just, you know, it will feel like an actual car. And also, I think it would benefit the economy. In the first Watch Dogs, again, there wasn't really an economy. You just could hack all these people's bank accounts, and that's it. You could basically buy everything in the game without, you know, worrying about how much you spend because you could just have an unlimited amount. So I think it would benefit the economy and also add values to the cars. But 78% of you also said you would accept this contract on Twitter, which I can see why.
Now, our next fixed contract is, should Watch Dogs 2 let you fly helicopters? What do you think, Brett?
I would decline this because I think I don't think it really adds gameplay value. If you think about it, what can you really hack while you're in the air? Like another helicopter? I think that's overpowered. And for me personally, they didn't even get driving right in the first game. So I would like to see that kind of happen before adding more vehicles. And again, I just don't really think it fits with Watch Dogs kind of gameplay.
Yes, I would also decline this contract. It feels like if they were to add that, it would be trying too hard to be like GTA 5. And I know that some of the marketing for Watch Dogs 1 did try and make it seem like it was the replacement for GTA, which is, I personally disagree with. I don't think they were trying for that at all. I think that if they were to add the ability to fly helicopters and then maybe add planes, would be the natural extension from that. I think they would be going too much in the GTA 5 or GTA direction. I don't think that Watch Dogs needs that. I don't think that it fits the Watch Dogs gameplay loop or the feel of the gameplay. And as you said, they barely got driving right. I don't want to see them add helicopters and we're just constantly smashing into buildings because we can't fly them right. And they would also need to serve some kind of gameplay purpose. And if you were to add helicopters to Watch Dogs 1, there would be no use for them. You would just be flying them around for no reason. In GTA, you have heists and things using helicopters, and you go places using helicopters, and they have challenges using helicopters. In Watch Dogs, there was nothing for helicopters to do. And, of course, part of that is that there were no helicopters. But in Watch Dogs 2, if they were to, they would have to give you some stuff to do with them. I'm not sure if any of that stuff would look unique to Watch Dogs. I think that all of this stuff will be trying to imitate GTA in some way. I think that Watch Dogs shouldn't go that route and should instead become its own franchise. So yeah, I would also decline this contract. I do not think that Watch Dogs 2 should let us fly helicopters or planes, and maybe just stick to the boats. Even the boats were a pretty unique system that they added. They didn't have to do that. I did like that they did that, though. And on Twitter, the poll, 94% of you said yes, but Twitter somehow messed up our poll, and only 16 results were recorded. So that number, that 94% number, might be a little off.
Yeah, just a little. But
just a little bit.
That was actually a really good explanation. Like, I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Anyways, on to the last question. Should Watch Dogs 2 have multiple protagonists that you can switch between? For example, Assassin's Creed Syndicate had both Evie and Jacob that you could kind of switch between in the open worlds, and also you could switch between when it came to some of the missions in the game.
I would decline this contract, I think. Just because I think that it would be once again, it would be imitating Syndicate, because it's a Ubisoft game. Would probably draw more conclusions to Syndicate, although some people, once again, would draw more conclusions, more links to GTA 5 with the multiple protagonist system. I don't think we need that. I think that we can have one core person and then just follow them around. I don't think we need to. It has an interesting gameplay system, and it sacrifices the narrative aspects. Syndicate did the multiple protagonist system actually very, very well, all things considered, especially in terms of narrative systems. But I think it suffered for gameplay in some ways. So I don't think we need that. It just seems like an unnecessary addition. It wouldn't encourage Watch Dogs becoming its own franchise, I don't think. I don't think that we need that, really. So I would decline this contract.
I would have to agree with you as well. I would decline, and that's mostly because of what I stated for the last question. For me, they didn't really nail Aiden Pierce as a character, so I personally don't think they're ready for two main characters. And obviously we don't know like the plot of Watch Dogs 2, but would there really be a need for two main characters? Like, they both would be hackers and pretty much do all of the same stuff when it comes to hacking, you know, like change the traffic lights and all of that. They would have the same abilities. So I don't really think they can make it that different from a gameplay perspective. So I think it's a bit pointless, and I would also decline. On Twitter, though, 44% of you would accept this. So it was kind of split down the middle. And again, I can see why some of you would want this, because it does... for some games, it does change up the gameplay. A good example is GTA 5, where you have 3 characters and they have different abilities in the main story. So I can see why people would say that. Also, you know, if one main character sucks, you have another one to go to. But yeah, that's a bad answer to give. But no, I would just decline. Yeah, but that does it for Fixer Contracts and this episode of the DedSecCast. This has been fun. Aftermath, would you like to say goodbye to the nice people watching?
See you later, nice people. Hope you tune in again next week.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all later.